But now that was my work part. Now, personally, what I did, and sometimes I had people pay me to teach them not to be kidnapped. I say I got a lot of connections down here in Central America. Kidnapping is a big thing, so I had to show them that you don't have to be kidnapped. Counter kidnapping is kind of like hostage rescue, and so I had to show him. And now him and me were two bad guys, and in our minds, the SWAT team outside was coming in. Now, when they come in, we are using self-defense tactics. I made a video talking about the difference between self-defense and combat, and that's what we were using, self-defense tactics, not combat tactics. No mas? Oh, come here? Okay. All right. And so the thing was, since I'm not Joe, then when they come in, they would I would hit them, and that's where I learned the Hoi Chi. I learned where I can hit people and put out a lot of pain without doing permanent damage, and I could take that pain away. And okay, and that's where I learned all that kind of stuff. So so what it was, I would hurt them, but when we got done, I would take that hurt away. Okay, all right. And so when now what the first reaction everybody had in the SWAT teams when they were training with me is, this isn't normal training. And that's what I had to explain to them. Hell no, it's not normal. I am not a professional trainer. And that's one reason why I couldn't do Oklahoma, is because they have certain things that I have to do, and I can't do those things. I mean, because I don't know how the situation is going to turn, so I've got to be able to change things around. So I was able to make things happen to the SWAT teams that they never have happened, but will happen in true life. Why do I know it's going to happen in true life? Because of my combat experience in Vietnam. So then now I'm adding to my combat experience by training the SWAT teams, in which it was more non-lethal, and it wasn't against way overwhelming numbers. I mean, you're talking, I'm only up against between 6 and maybe 50s at the maximum, and but I'm able to use all kinds of tactics and techniques, and these aren't training. The only difference is I didn't die and I didn't really take lives, but other than that, I felt the real pain. When they took me down, it hurt. One thing I learned, one of their tactics on this one particular thing was, they arrest everybody in the building, and they throw each one out of the window one at a time, and they are checked outside. Outside, because all the combat is going on the inside. On the outside, they have time to separate and find out who's the bad guys and who's the good guys. Because like I say, one time I had 50 students. I did a school, a 3-story school, and they had to secure that 3-story school, not knowing how many bad guys there was, and with 50 kids running around. So that's experience is what they had, not training. Okay, they got real experience. The only thing was they didn't die, and but I guarantee that was some experience, and everybody was shocked and thankful for having an experience like that, because it is an eye-opening experience. So that's one thing about being experienced and what do you call it? Training. Now, something here that's not quite training, but it is a form of training, is I have people, I travel, and there's a lot of people, I know a lot of people that travel, and I have people say, yeah, I've been to Mexico, and I said, yeah, and they say, yeah, Cancun, I flew to Cancun, or I took a boat, what do you call them, cruise ship, and they went to Cancun. See, I drove there twice, once in a car and once on a motorcycle with my dog. So there's a difference between travel, and so they would learn. To me, what they're doing is there was a form of training because they're just going from one resort to another resort. You know, I mean, the cruise ship is a resort in itself, and you get off and you go to another resort, you know, or you just go play at the beach and then you get back on the boat or back in the hotel. So, you know, you really don't get out too much, but you do get a sense of the foreign languages being talked and the foreign food. So then they get kind of an idea of what do you call it, training. Now, when it comes to like I say, for me, it's I got to deal with a whole lot more than, well, you know, I don't get to sit at the captain's table this meal. You know, I've got to make sure I can find the right types of food. I got to make sure when I'm sick or injured, I'm able to get through whatever situation it is that I'm getting myself involved in. So, and it's the same thing when people come here to visit me and I take them out and we go places and do things. That's basically training is what they're getting, because, well, yeah, mainly it's training, because I try not to take them to places where things might get kind of hairy, even though we do go through all the moves, all the actions and all stuff like that. I have to train them to a certain degree, you know, if nothing else, so they don't get hit by a car. So there is a degree of training when you're learning to travel, and then once you start traveling, that gives you experience. Now, and that falls back into, I thought I traveled before, because like I say, I've been coming down here since the 70s, but like I say, let's see, 03, I think I started my motorcycle trips with my dog, and so I did years of running on that motorcycle with the dog, and so that was a lot of experience. So that really adds up. Now, and like I say, after you get so much experience in traveling, I call it an adventure. Now, I'm not going to travel, I'm going to go on an adventure. I've got the skills, I've got the experience, I don't have it for that particular situation. That's why it's going to be an adventure that I'm going to be getting myself into. So, but this is what I'm talking about. When you are listening to, comments, or you watch people's videos, and even my videos, and that's why I put on there, you can go to NoStressMike.com, and it talks about that. Well, who is NoStressMike? And it'll tell you, you know, and it has links, and it'll tell you who I am, what I've done, and stuff like that. I'm not certified in very much stuff, you know, so I depend a lot on experience. I depend a lot on being able to learn something by participating. And this is what I try to do when people come visit me. And like I say, when I go out, like I say, I'm fixing to go on another adventure. I'm going to be doing something that I don't know anything about. And so it's going to be an adventure. And never been there before. Never done that stuff before. And it's just starting. My adventure is just starting. I'm getting ready to do another one after that. It's going to be really, really big. And all of these will be an experience once I get done. It's an adventure to get started, but once you get done, it was an adventure, and it just added to my experience. So when you, like I say, I get like 22. I made a video talking about 22s, and I can't believe how many people that don't know anything really repeat what they've heard, you know. And the same thing on ARs. I talk about ARs, and people are just repeating. They have no experience. Very few even have any training, and then when they're shooting at targets, they think that is experience, and it's not. It's a controlled condition. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. There is a difference between training and experience. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.